I stay down. Ay, you can't tell me nothing, I stay down for that come. Ay, you can't tell me nothing, I stay down. Ay, you can't tell me.
Yeah. Look, man, I honestly haven't gotten a chance to, genuinely thank people. But look, we did it, y'all. Boston Music Award, Music Journalist of the Year 2024. Your boy, you know what I'm saying? Noble. You feel me? Look, I haven't gotten a chance to thank everybody, so I want to take this time to actually thank everybody. Like, thank you. You know what I mean? Y'all know I started Museum TV in my bedroom 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, in all honesty, just seeing this kind of just genuinely come to light is honestly what means the most to me. BMA or not, we still gonna do what we do. We exhibit the culture stories. It's just in us. You know what I mean? But I digress, yo. I just genuinely wanted to take the time and thank everybody for that, for real. The BMAs is, it's just year one. Salute to y'all. But, we got to keep these stories rolling. You know what I mean? The Museum TV, my name is Noble once again. We are Boston's premier vlog. We exhibit the culture stories. We've been around since 2014, if you do not know. You know what I mean? So, for real, there's not too many stories that I'm, sold on like that the same way that I used to when I first started, just naturally, you know what I'm saying? Perspective, you know what I'm saying? Experience, you know what I'm saying? Your perspectives change. But if I am bringing you a story now, outside of my 10 years, outside of my BMA, I need you to genuinely understand that I'm standing on business about who I'm telling you about, for real. Today, the story that we got hailing, you know what I'm saying, from Massachusetts, of course, comes out of Dorchester. My guy has, you know what I'm saying, he sat down for 17. He's going to tell you his story. You know what I'm saying? He's going to circle back around and tell you how he's really just, transmuting, you know what I'm saying, an old situation, bro, that, you know what I'm saying, had him in a space he didn't want to be, but now he's in a space that he does want to be. You know what I mean? Making Dorchester look good. I got my guy EXITFAME in the building, man. EXITFAME, what's good, baby? I appreciate you pulling up, bro. For real, man. 100%, man. 100%.
Finally made it. Yes, sir.
Nah.
I ain't gonna sit in front of you at BMA, man.
Nah, you good, baby. You good. I super appreciate you, bro. Yo, I gotta tell you though, man. Yo, bro, on some real shit, I gotta salute your story, bro. For real, man. It's a story that I've seen genuinely happen, and it's gonna sound fucked up, but on some real, I don't necessarily look to be too open to people, and I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah, because I reached out a few times to get on here.
I mean
all the platforms, but this is one of the hottest in the city.
You know
so
you
know that.
Nah. Niggas appreciate, bro.
Yes, sir.
But it's a situation where I really want to genuinely be able to speak for what I'm speaking for. So when you hear the passion out of me, my nigga, it's real. It's not just because somebody, you know what I'm saying, paid, or you know what I'm saying, I knew somebody's little cousin or whatever the case may be. Nothing weird like that, bro. It's literally I seen something, I fuck with it, and I'm standing behind it.
The integrity of the show, man.
You understand, bro?
I understand. I respect it.
My brother, bro. Yo, on some real shit, man. The first time we met was at Big City.
Big City, yes,
you know
sir. Yes, sir. Shout out Dex in 2 times.
In 2 times. Shout out the big homies. You know what I'm saying?
Some more DJ. Shout out them all.
For sure, bro. No funny shit. But bro, I'm saying all this to say, yo, bro, whether or not there was interviews coming, accolades coming, bro, you was gonna put in the work.
Yeah, man.
That's one thing that I learned about you, and I really genuinely respect. You know what I'm saying? When I think about artists that are working hard in the city, first thoughts is you, Body Rock, and then I can't really, you know what I'm saying? No funny shit. There's other people for sure.
Of course there's
but
others,
y'all are I just genuinely feel yo, first thoughts is literally you're there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And it takes a lot. I went through that in the beginning of this year. I can imagine, you know what I mean? You have such an amazing year, and it's the pressure of an artist is how am I gonna do that again?
Even past that. Yeah.
And I had to, and maybe for a little while, man, I started just chilling with my kids and just taking a little time off. The industry kind of shuts down, and the quarter hasn't opened up, and then I knew when I was in that slump and finishing up one of the projects I'm working on, I was just get back to the writing and go back to the videos, bro.
Hard.
Forget all the big stuff and trying to do this and be here, be that. Get back to what got you there, and we'll see what goes from there. And I'm in a very spiritually, emotionally better place just from creating, not even accolades and things like that, just from being excited about creating again. So,
may I ask, bro, what do you feel prompts you to go this hard, bro? like right now?
I
Cause no lie, bro. Like, yo, you're literally like foot on next.
So
sure.
I would definitely say, for the age that I'm at, I always feel like the clock is against me.
Damn.
So I always feel like, you know, I have to work extra hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Fatherhood's in my life. I'm getting to that point. You know what I mean? I got 5 years of being a real human and being a civilian in the world, paying taxes.
How old do you want to
You know what I mean?
You don't mind me asking.
Nah, my shit's out there. It's on. You can Google it. I'm 39. You
Okay,
know what
respect,
I mean? So
respect.
it's like, and I got 5 years.
You think 5 years for real? Why 5 years, bro?
Because I only got 5 years of being a functioning human in the world. You know what I mean? Like I'm unfortunately, because of a whole bunch of mistakes, I've learned how to be an adult. Now I'm coming into fatherhood. I'm being trusted with my kids now.
Okay,
you know?
I'm sorry.
Like,
I thought you were saying you only have 5 more years.
oh no, I got like 5 years of living life, of living life without being in a jail cell, without being on a drug, without worrying about someone coming to blow my head off. You know what I mean? Like,
bro.
I got 5 years of just being in the world and enjoying life, but at the same time, in this last 5 years, music has consumed it so much. Because it's always been a passion of mine since I was 9 years old.
Hard.
And I wasted so much time with it, I just feel like my window's short. You know what I mean? If that's the right analogy for that. And I got to go hard with it. And it's like I got to work hard because shout out to the artists that are full-time parents and doing their thing, and it is hard.
I don't know
for them.
how y'all do it.
And it's because
your boy is taking his time.
I be seeing it. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at real responsibility coming around the corner. Like, you ain't gonna be able just to go to New York and LA when you want to, you know. And shout out my family and the people that look at my kids and my bosses at my jobs that believe in my dream as much as I do, because it ain't gonna be like that forever. So I feel like while this time is here.
Yeah, like, go crazy.
Kill it, man. Hit it hard. So that's another reason. And then I didn't get off those hard drugs and just change my life. I don't want to just be no normal person. Like, I want to make a riffle in this world. Damn. Make the effect that might change the world or something. I don't know.
Yo, honestly, man, like, you know, I'm gonna. So my perspective on that, bro, is, and I just want to piggyback what you were saying, but before me get into that. I think the reason why niggas go hard is because we understand genuinely what it's like to be a Boston creative, bro, trying to break out into the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We have to go 4 times as hard as a nigga from New York. It just is what it is.
You know who feels like us too?
Who?
New Jersey people and Connecticut people feel just like we feel.
I mean, it makes sense.
It
makes sense.
It was like, you think you got it hard? I'd be like,
damn.
That's in New Jersey, you're right next to New York. Like, why is it so hard for y'all? Like, but they be like, we don't want to hear that shit. But I'm listening to you though.
No, but it's real, and everybody's gonna feel the same way. But I do think,
but it's harder for us. So
you know what I'm
Jersey
saying?
and Connecticut, chill.
Like, just, you know, with all due respect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, yo, bro, like, it's just one of those situations where, like, I do feel if your movement is gonna be respected, nigga, you gotta be going 10 times as hard as the next nigga, bro. Yep. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? But I digress, bro. Yo, your perspective in terms of, yo, fucking life, dealing with, you know, just the outside circumstances, bro, that make it hard to be an artist, bro. But you're tiptoeing around all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're tiptoeing around all that.
There's a resiliency, and it's kind of like there's more than one way to skin a cat philosophy. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, if we can't get it done this way, you got to get it done that way. You know what I mean? And I believe that with hard work, everything can be earned.
100.
You know what I mean? And you just have to be open-minded.
100.
You know what I mean? You got to be willing and humble to be able to learn, because sometimes people's approach is just wrong. You got to be able to understand people and come where people are at. And in Boston, unfortunately, not even just Boston, Massachusetts, a lot of artists they have this entitlement thinking. You know what I mean?
Bro,
and no one owes us nothing
at all.
It doesn't. You know what I mean? No one owes us anything.
Don't get too crazy. All right, so Damn. All right. Because that low key ties into one of my later on questions, bro.
Okay.
But I did want to get into your song with Terminology, bro.
Shout out Turn ST the squad.
Time,
Yes, sir.
right? Within Time, you said that people take you for granted when they're used to you, right? Now you've been doing your thing, bro, for some time. How do you continue to stay fresh? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you continue to keep evolving, bro, within what you're doing? Because obviously, unfortunately, niggas sat down for 17, but I also know that you was doing music prior to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you come out, we have 5 years of moving around. You know what I'm saying? How do you kind of keep things fresh, bro?
I like to stay in tune to all types of music and everything that's going on around me. And I had to realize that my way might not be the way. I might know something. I might be good in this area of something, but you know what I mean? Like just learning from other people. So the way you stay fresh, the way I stay fresh, like this new project that I'm about to drop, it is such an evolved sound because, you know, all the criticism of, I think I'm in like 10 projects now, and all the criticism of these projects, it's like, bro, that's not working. You know, like you gotta be open-minded. You gotta do something different. You gotta change. You gotta adapt with the times. You know what I mean? Like you gotta move. Like this ain't '05. You know what I mean? Like this ain't 2015.
I don't feel like your shit sounds dated though.
Nah, yeah.
And I'm quick to say a nigga shit sound dated. No funny shit. I don't think it should sound dated.
Right. It's just the approach. It's the approach, and we can only hear the sad story and your mistakes for so long.
So long, 100.
All right, we know.
100,
You know,
100.
we got it.
100.
But I want to know, like, what makes you tick? Who are you today in 2024, 2025? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really studied this. One thing that the poppin' rappers who are influential right now, they're not just speaking about themselves, they're speaking to people. There's something that anybody that relates to something that's going on now, I can relate to that because that's going on in my life.
100.
Sometimes you be focused too much on me, my story. The person like, yeah, we know, bro.
You
Like,
feel me? No.
I listen to the movie, I'm trying to hit a vibe. Like, every time, you know, so it'd be like that for me sometimes.
I do want to ask, though, because, like, you know, obviously, you know, you just mentioned your age, bro. You mentioned, you know what I'm saying, the time that you've put in. For me, it's like you're finding your way to make this make sense for you so, you know, EXITFAME can pay the bills. EXITFAME can, you know what I'm saying, do what EXITFAME got to do. You know what I mean? You're taking your time. However, I would like to ask, and I genuinely feel like, you know, I think if there was no money involved, bro, you wouldn't necessarily, like, care, but that's just me. You spoke earlier about, you know, nobody owing you shit, and I think that as artists, we have to find harmony in not understanding that people don't owe us shit, right? And then at the same time, bro, on earth, we're here to serve, bro. I see you got John 3:16, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're here to serve, bro. We're here to give back, my nigga, in order to grow as individuals, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a message that a lot of people...
there's a gem that we say in the recovery thing, you only keep what you have by giving it away. You know what I mean? And that might go over some people's heads,
Nah,
man.
100%.
You know?
Nah, 100%. I love that, bro. So, okay, so take us a step back, bro. You know what I mean? Just to dive into your story, bro, because this is, you know, the title. This is going to be Discovering EXITFAME. You know what I'm saying? On TMTV. You see what I'm saying? So, for the people that don't necessarily know your story, bro, like, can you give them just a quick recap? Obviously, we're not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, beat a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just on a quick level, man. The EXITFAME story, man, you know, for some people, the EXITFAME story begins 5 years ago when I got sober from drugs. But the EXITFAME story starts from Fame Flint. Fame Flint was me. I'm talking third person. I was a rapper, and you know what I mean, the early 2000s and mid 2000s, man. And I made some mistakes. My pops died, man, and I handled that wrong. But before that happened, I had the opportunity to be around some of the lit people that you see now in the city. You know, people like Millie's and way more. You know, there's a lot more who I've seen on the come up. And unfortunately, due to my mistakes, I fell off and I had like 8 years in hell, and through that 8 years in hell, been shot, been stabbed, been back to jail, blah, 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 made kids, you know what I mean? And all types of stuff. And, you know, through the grace of God, man, I got I had a wake up call, man, and it didn't come in the form of a cell. It didn't come in the form of a bullet. My son was born, and I made some hard choices and some sacrifices, and I started climbing my way out of that hole, you know. And 5 years later, here we are, man. You know, EXITFAME has developed into a brand, a merchandise. You know, an artist. I've traveled. Some of the people that I grew up listening to, I'm around, and I got their phone number now. You know, and
what's ill, I think, is
man. So that's where EXITFAME is at, and it's all, you know what I mean. I always got to give it up. That's all due to God, man. You know.
Yo, bro. Yeah. Your story, the more, you know what I'm saying, like I learn more, is just so heavy, bro. I just feel like, for one, you know, doing what we do, it's so tough to actually have a brand that people can respect and fuck with. I used to always say that a lot of artists in the city, bro, or the state, where they lacked was having a brand identity. So every time you went to go, you know, think about them or go, you know, digest the music, you didn't necessarily know what you was about to walk into. You know what I'm saying? But I think you have a situation where, okay, cool, people might know what they're walking into, but now you have the opportunity to kind of give them variety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can kind of give them like what you want, because people, all right, cool, I understand the baseline. And I think that's where a lot of artists kind of skip out on, bro, and really need to take that time to have their story really like be understood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know, the theme of EXITFAME is the never go back. That's the merchandise, but it's just the lifestyle, never go back. And I just wanted to make something that it's in that it's not just about drugs. It's not just about jail. It's just never going back to something that you. And it's just never going back to something that had you down, that had you in a dark place. And if you made it out of that, we never go back to that. So, thank God that people relate to it and they like it. You know, so I'm running with it. You know, yeah.
How do you you know, being a pops? And you know, obviously you got the seeds, you got baby girl, you got baby boy. How do you explain what you're doing to them, and so like they understand? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you go about that?
It's I don't even know if this acclimating into their lives and being present when I can, you know, just being transparent and being real. It's not like all my kids live with me. I do stay with my whole family, and my oldest is with me all the time. But she's in college, you know. But my
grown gal.
Yeah,
Talk that, man.
And you know,
that,
she's a Husky, Northeastern.
Talk that shit, bro. Talk that fucking shit. Let's go, baby girl.
Yeah. And
amazing school, bro.
And then I got an amazing, my youngest daughter, Briella, man. You know, she's killing it with the cheerleading, traveling the world. Her mother's doing an amazing job with her, and I'm just so happy and so grateful to God that I'm in her life. She loves me. She knows who I am. Me and the mom get along. We cool. That's fam.
Salute, ball, dude.
And then with my son, you know what I mean? Just the hurdles, because he was there, you know what I mean? He was born. He was the reason why I changed my life. I got 5 years clean. He's 5 years old. So it's been a period of time, you know what I mean? The system was involved, you know what I mean? Thank God for his grandmother. She took him, you know what I mean? And I'm just, even with 5 years clean, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And sober and doing all the things I'm doing. It's time. Things I must earn and getting back in his life. But I had a moment with him the other day at Dunkin' Donuts, and just a stranger, not to make it a race thing, but a white guy that you would not think that knows about hip hop or nothing like that comes up while he's with me, and says, "No shit, man," you know. And he was like, "He's like, you're EXITFAME, man," you know. And it was just like, and seeing my son like, and him talk to him like that, that was really dope.
That should go a long way.
That was
bro.
dope, man. So, you know, they watch me on, you know, him and his sister, they watch me on TikTok and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, in his eyes, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was feeling like his dad's like a hero or something. So that was a good feeling.
I mean, shit, I remember when I was a young nigga, and, you know, I'd be around, you know, my pops and, like, his older, and his mins, and just seeing the homie, you know, big up my pops, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's just
right,
nigga, like, who's, like, you know what I mean? To me, that's just my pops, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga just bigging him up, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, that shit goes a long way for you, bro. No funny shit, man. I'm glad your kid's able to experience that shit,
man,
bro.
and it's a slow acclimation, but like we were just talking about, that full-time fatherhood, I can hear it's coming around the corner, man. You know what I mean? So it's definitely preparing for that, you know. And
was that the first time that they like had that experience where like somebody's like, "Oh my God, your dad"?
Nah, I mean they've had stuff, but where he can actually see something. I think the importance of it was that we was in Wellesley or Newton, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
And
super
the guy that did it was just not somebody that you would think listening to hip hop music. You know what I mean? So him seeing that, because I don't want to say the word unfortunately. That's the wrong language. But where he's living at in his school, you know what I mean? He doesn't see too many of us. Mm-hmm. So to see somebody from that world acknowledge who I am, it's like, no, my dad is dope.
That shit.
Because sometimes kids can be cruel, you know, and they can say things and all that kind of stuff. So he had his moment in front of his sister. She looked a little jelly, you know. That was cool, you know.
Well, dude, man, nah, but yo, bro. I mean, obviously, y'all are seeing the genuineness through bro's just story and everything. You know what I mean, make sure y'all are going to check out Exit Hell. Before I exit hell, you know what I'm saying?
We got new work coming though.
You feel me? And all that is the bodies of work from 2024 that had bro on tour with the Locks. You know what I'm saying? On Shade 4-5. You know what I'm saying? Like moving around on the radar. You know what I'm saying? So you know, getting to that, bro. He has a Dead Dog City on. I be trying.
That's journalist. That's why he got the award.
You
journalist. That's why he got it.
The stories is really like everything to me. And I think the stories is what keeps people afloat. And I think people underestimate their story more than they should. You know what I'm saying? But bro, you know, you pulled up on me. You hit me up one day, bro. You know what I'm saying, on the gram. Hit me like, yo, Noble, I need me a Dead Dogs hoodie, bro.
I need that.
You feel me? And no lie, bro, like, bro had no issue, you know what I'm saying? He paid his tab, bro. I made sure I did the work, bro. And bro needed that to go on tour, you know what I'm saying, with the Locks. He said, yo, bro, I got you. A lot of times when niggas say they got me, I just be like, all right, cool, bro. Bet. But bro followed the fuck up. Had pictures, had videos.
Yo, it's crazy because if I had merch to wear because they liked it so much, yo, Jada would have got it. Sheik Luch would have definitely had it. He loved it. You know what I mean? And there was a couple other dudes in the camp. Shout out Bucky and a couple other dudes from D Block that really liked it, but they probably would have been wearing it. So next time I go, you know, I gotta have some stuff ready for them.
I love it though, bro, because like, you know, all these things is kind of coming your way, and I know for a fact that you more than likely have to deal with you know, just people being overbearing, you know what I'm saying, at times. Now the only reason why I'm bringing this up, bro,
I'm gonna be honest, overbearing, you gotta explain it to me.
Okay. Overbearing in terms of just like, all right, the reason why I brought this up is because of your song Demon and Monster. At the end of it, you're talking about how you know, when people try to tell you how to do what you do, but they never actually did what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll quote my man Willie the Kid, who basically says, you know, niggas want to tell you how to fly who never flown it. Right? Now, on the other side of that statement, my nigga, I think that you're not doing shit if there's people not giving you unsolicited advice, bro.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Hate.
You feel me?
When I see the hate, man, I be like, yes. That's good. That means that people are seeing you, because not everybody can like you. It's just impossible. Not everybody like Jesus. You know what I mean? So everybody can't like you.
I just love it because I already know that, like, after, you know, you did everything with the Locks, bro, I'm sure there was even more people like, yo, Fame, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that.
There's always, and it's probably in every city, but there's always somebody that never did what you're trying to do, didn't make it to where, you know what I mean? And mistakes are always valuable. So I listen to, when a person wants to give me advice because, yo, I did this wrong, I listen to people's mistakes.
You have to.
But don't give me like you got the blueprint and this is the way, because the results of your life do not show that you know the way.
If I'm being real, you know? The percentage of people that have actually, like,
I hate that
talk
shit.
Some shit has been like less than 10%, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll let niggas, you know what I'm saying, get their rocks off, bro. But like after that,
I
value
the mistakes, but if
it like really hits, alright, cool, I'll take the gem. But majority of the time, bro, just be crazy. So I mean, like, I guess do you remember a time, bro, being on the road, niggas like, hey yo, young homie, hey yo, big blood, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's always so this game, unfortunately, how do you say it? Being an entrepreneur, being an up-and-coming artist, being an independent artist that doesn't have the means to fund themselves, I would say that, being in that position, this game is full of sharks. And they feed off the desperation of one's dream. So it's always just people looking for a quick paper come up. You know what I mean? And you just gotta, you gotta know the language, because you can talk yourself into a bill real quick by talking too much, being excited, being around people, and this and that. Next thing you know, this is how I've been in these situations where I did not know that I was gonna have to pay for stuff. I was like, I thought it was
what you mean, bro? I thought it was love on those.
It's not how
What
we work,
you mean, bro?
And I learned some hard lessons by that. And all my mistakes, I have knowledge through expensive mistakes. You know what I mean? And that's why they say that the game is made to be sold, not told. You know what I mean?
I used to always struggle with that statement, bro. When I was coming up, I used to always struggle with it.
The rap game is a buy-in.
Like, why is it like that? That's fucked up. You know what I mean?
It's just like poker. It's a buy-in, baby.
I mean, all right, bro. So, you know, we've gotten into who your character is. You know, people are speaking for you. You know what I'm saying? All these things. But one thing that I do know, bro, is, you know, you have the work ethic of a nigga that was making music in the early 2000s, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You got the motherfucking work ethic, bro. So it's just like putting out as much music as you do, because, you know,
and it's about to get more crazy now, because now I'm learning how to record myself, you know,
which is nutty. But like, yo, bro, like, you know, the first project was roughly 36ish minutes, right? And then you know, the deluxe, you call Before I Exit Hell a deluxe? It's all new songs, ain't no repeats.
Nah, it was its own entity. It was its own thing. And yeah, it was his own thing. And looking back on it, I wish I took more of time with that, because I think Exit Hell, you know what I mean, I allowed criticism and response to something. I kind of let it sway me and made me think that I got to get right back into the mode. Nah, I can't, you know what I mean? I got to get back to it. So, but looking at Exit Hell, you know what I mean? There was a lot that I learned with that project, you know, putting my stuff through the BMI or the ASCAP, learning how to register a song. Shout out Mel Go Hard. Shout out Cyrus and everybody that
Cyrus
was
the Shield, Mel. Yeah, I know the vibes.
Shout out those
I love
people,
how close
because
everything is.
you know, you just be out here like a chicken with your head cut off and thinking you just upload something to DistroKit and that's it. Like, there's a whole system. You know what I mean? And these are expensive mistakes. Like I was just saying that, things that I'll never forget now. So I just can't, you know what I mean? It's a way to move, you know what I mean?
So I guess my question gets down to, bro, I wanted to genuinely understand what your music creation process is at this point, bro, because you're putting out so much work. You know, you for one, the work is moving around also, you know what I mean? Like, when you walk into a booth, understanding what you understand now, okay, EXITFAME as a brand, EXITFAME as this entrepreneur, when you walk in, prior to even putting, you know, pen to paper, how are you kind of, you know, putting this together? Like what's the thought process?
Now, if you listen, go back to those 10 projects, I'm all over the place. Understanding who I'm speaking to, understanding the people that want to hear me, and understanding that if there is a person out there that gives this listen a try, what makes that appealing to them, and understanding that through mistakes, developing a sound, evolving, and just trying different techniques, trying different things, listening to different people. And this new project, you know, I just recently switched the title, so I don't know it right now. And yeah, I know people will be shocked when they hear that, you know what I mean? Because I just didn't do what you think that I was gonna do, you know? So music was made to evolve and do different stuff.
100%. Low key, one of my favorite joints, bro. And I was at the time I didn't know it was gonna be on your project, but I was at Nelly's was it Nelly Pro Tools?
Yeah.
It was around Norfolk, bro. I was around Norfolk, I think, bro. I had pulled up because I went to go see Works, and that's when I met Hetty.
On Norfolk?
Bro, it was a red ass studio, and Attican was there. Her unc. Damn. Who's her unc?
Easy Productions. Easy Street. Shout out Andrew Shaw. Okay.
Damn, dog, who's her unc though, bro, dog? Ain't Rusty her unc?
Rusty.
Boom.
Shout out Rusty.
Boom. So
Funky Fresh. Yes.
Funky Fresh, bro. You know what I'm saying? Legendary. Brought Biggie out. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned that in the song, bro.
He brought way more than Biggie out.
Nah, 100%.
I was just saying that, man. I gotta hit up Rusty, because I was like, if there was anybody that was doing like a big annual show in Boston, there should be a Funky Fresh show.
There should.
You know what I mean? I was
him
like,
and Maurice Starr, legendary to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's far, bro. But like, you know,
Maurice Starr, wow.
I honestly say, you know, I'm the Maurice Starr of my generation, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time I hear Maurice Starr's name, I always think about that old rap Boston
In terms
song.
of platforms, though, I know he was a producer.
What was
and all
that
good
dude?
stuff.
Somebody will know it. Put it in the comments. Who used to get over by Maurice Starr and Larry Wu. What was that rapper from Boston? That might be too old, but that shit used to always be. Who is that? Yo, somebody put that in the comments, yo. I can't find that song.
Funny,
used to get over by Maurice Starr and Larry Wu. It was like a Boston anthem. Like there was mad Boston rappers.
That's
like,
hard as hell. Now, I mean, yo, Maurice Starr is just so,
I don't even know
like,
who Larry
pivotal,
Wu is.
bro. He's just like so pivotal, bro.
Right.
I respect the
I met Maurice Starr at the
like that,
Strand
man.
Theater with my church when I was a kid. Yep.
But nah, bro. I mean, all right, so I feel like, you know, you're saying that, okay, this new joint might be a little different than what, you know, the brand of music that we're used to right now might be.
Just the way that music comes out now.
Okay.
Attention spans are shorter. People are looking for something different, you know. So I adapted to what was going on, learning. So I'm very anxious to see the reaction of this. I've been, you know, having little quiet listening parties for it, and we've been developing it, and that just comes from learning from all of these projects. So
That's super hard.
yeah, man.
So, all right, so, you know, for one, I'm a huge fan of your character, bro. The music just is like cherry on top. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For people that might not know EXITFAME, I would love for you to kind of give them a good welcome pack, right? So, you know, we got 2 solid projects that came out in 2024. If you can give 3 top songs for them to go listen to and be like, I bet this is what's going to make sure you get a good introduction. You feel me? What would be those 3 songs?
I would really say, if you really want to know like my story, you got to go to May God Be With You 1. This is like a song on there. I got shot. There's so many songs on there. Like I was really storytelling on that project, and I got shot. Never Go Back is on part 1. Songs that I still perform to this day. You know what I mean? There's and the crowd rocks to them. You know what I mean? But if you had to go like to those songs, you know, the songs were like OT the Real, Hell. You know, those are real stories.
Yeah.
And my shout out to Mondi, the song.
Mondy's joint's hard too, yeah.
I don't even know the name of my own damn song.
I'm honestly, I'm like,
What is it? The song
I know
with
the song,
Mondi
though.
on the song it's a really great
100.
song, because everything I'm talking about, if you wanted to get to know who I am,
It's Go Through, bro. Go
yeah.
Through.
Go through.
Go Through.
There you go.
Go
You
Through,
know what
bro.
I mean? Go Through is a song that it explains who I am. If you never, you know what I mean, be like, oh, I bet. Even if you want to know what I go through, Rap Dream, you know, when we talk about the obstacles and everything I go against, yeah.
Nah, I like, you know, I'm a Roxbury nigga, so Still Dudley, you know what I'm saying? Is up there
It's
for your
crazy
boy.
too, because I'm kind of like my street is literally.
I know Facing is like,
It's
kissing
literally,
cousins with-
yeah. So like literally, like over there is the Roxbury. That house is Roxbury, and my house. I just happen to be on the Dorchester line. But I go to the store in Roxbury. Everything is, you know what I
100.
mean. So I went through hell for that
did
over
my
as a kid.
research.
Like, you ain't even from Roxbury, bro. I'm like. Bro, I get on the 45 like you. I go to, I be like, come on, man. I'm like, nah, bro. Because every time we got arrested, I go to a different police station.
The niggas. The niggas.
You know what I mean? Be like,
This nigga, man.
Yo,
Shout out me too, man.
Yeah,
Shout out me too.
yeah, I
nigga.
didn't go to Roxbury Court for a long time, though. I'd never seen it. I was like, yo, I never been in there. I always went to Dorchester Court.
Yo, bro, nah, that's some real nigga shit, bro.
Yeah,
nah,
man. But it's just
I
it's because when my grandfather bought the house on the street, like, you know what I mean. It is
Nah,
what it
faced
is.
it. I've
But
you know.
my street is the cut between Roxbury and Dorchester. Literally the borderline. Us and that part of Quincy.
If you know, you know, man. But
Yeah.
niggas will digress off straight to that shit, but that's bad funny, bro. But nah, I mean, damn, bro. I mean, so I do genuinely want to ask, and before we kind of get into like, you know, what have you learned like throughout your journey? For one, we spoke earlier about you being somebody that has seen the scene in different phases. What can you say to somebody who might be taken for granted, in my personal opinion, what we're enjoying right now?
Yeah,
in terms
definitely
of
the greatest,
what you walked
the
into
greatest,
versus what we
greatest
have
era
right
of
now.
music in Massachusetts history right now.
Like period.
Bobby Brown's probably the only person that can argue that, you know?
For sure. For sure. With all due respect, Bobby, of course, bro.
He's probably the only one.
But it's like, yo, fam, like, you know, if you could kind of give a quick, I guess, description as to what wasn't around then that is now that people can enjoy and might be taken for granted, bro. Like, no funny shit.
I'm gonna be real. I mean, I'm not really in tune to the drill rap scene like that. I do, you know, I try to pay it just to I take little glimpses of it.
Show a little love,
but just by statistics of the city, we are in the point in time of the lowest murder rate of all time in Boston, which is a positive thing, and that means more money for the city. I go to a lot of events and nothing be going on. Back then, man, and when we was doing all that stuff, you knew something was gonna happen at the show. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't go to the show without the thing. Now you go to these events and it doesn't matter. All walks of life. It's like people are getting home safe.
100.
People are collaborating and unifying, and the young people are they're hungry for this.
100.
They're hungry, and because of technology and the way that they know it, the middleman's getting cut out.
100.
The middleman's getting cut out,
gatekeeping.
just like what you guys are doing right now.
100.
In our era, in our time,
I didn't have to deal with none of this shit.
in our era, in our time, you would, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have a Nicole doing cameras and all that. You would be like,
100.
well, we got to pay the company.
I would have had to pay $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, you would have had to pay the company. You got to do what? The middleman is cut out because people have learned these things. And now it's happening in Massachusetts, which is creating evolution that all type of creations, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's just an amazing time to be in, you know?
It's so great, bro, because, like, no funny shit. I was telling people, like, yo, you can legit go on a media run now.
Right.
You couldn't, like, how was you doing that prior? You know what I mean? Like, there are other platforms that are championing other platforms, bro. There are platforms that have different voices. So the Museum TV has a voice. CWTFB has a voice. Bad for the Community has a voice. You know what I'm saying? Boston Big Four has a voice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has, like, their own voice, but they're sharing the perspectives, bro, what's going on in Massachusetts, bro. And we haven't had that prior, bro, on this type of a scale, this many people doing it, bro. No funny shit from what I've seen to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? If an OG want to come bless me with some knowledge, bro, please do. You know what I'm saying? But outside
and
of that,
it's just
bro,
gonna continue to grow. It's just gonna continue to grow and evolve because we live in a day and time where a kid never worked a full-time job, and a YouTuber can get millions of dollars. A streamer can get money. But people
100%.
can get money by doing these things. People's
Niggas is
lives
playing-
are changing by doing what we're doing right now, by
100%.
dialogue. So it's a dope time. It wasn't like this.
my nigga. All right, so we're speaking about how dope the scene has become, but I guess for you, somebody that has tiptoed around so much bullshit, bro, what advice could you give somebody, you know what I'm saying, coming up, especially since you've seen the scene in different places, you've dealt with the music industry in different facets, bro. You've went to hell, came back, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are these things, bro, that
I'm
you
gonna
feel?
be careful how I say this, because not everybody's worthy.
Damn.
You gotta earn it. But to the people that earn it, the people that are worth it, share the resources. Not to, you know, like, and that's why I say I want to be careful how I word that, because it's not like just share the resources to everybody. No. You know, like, nah, I'm not saying that. You got to earn your spot. You got to put the work in. You got to put the hours in. But there are some people out there that are amazing, putting in the work, and what they're doing might click over here. And you might have what makes this person click over here. And when you look at, you know what I mean, cliche, when you look at what the South does, everybody shares the resources. The West too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They share the resources.
Yeah.
And if you share the resources, you don't know you don't know the effect that it can have. And that's what I would say. Something that we didn't do in all those eras. Older cats that got the bag, that got the connections. You see that worthy person that's putting that work in, put that behind them.
On dogs.
You know what I mean?
On dogs.
That's just something that we never did over
On
here.
dogs.
And that might be something that has always hindered us.
On dogs.
You know?
I think for me personally, my creativity, obviously, you know, we found ways to take care of ourselves, but real rap, I take on Mark Echo's model where it's, you know, you are somewhat you're building community and building culture for the most part for the Frisbee, but then you kind of connecting businesses to it. You know what I'm saying? So we're my embroidery office, bro. We, you know what I'm saying? We connected a tent into it. You know what I mean? So we're trying to make it make sense. So now we're able to be present for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I think that's kind of the model that creativity is going in, because now you have to be the CEO and the nigga funding yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you said, there's a lot of middlemen that's being broken down. There's a lot of situations, bro, where if you're willing to put in that work, bro, and stand on business, bro, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And them artists, man, we're in a day and a time now. Grants are real.
Yeah.
Grants are real, and sometimes it's just a Google away.
100.
You know, so for them young artists, man, and all that kind of stuff, forget the age, just the artists is out there, grants are real. Like, keep your ear to the street and get involved in stuff. Don't be afraid to support somebody. Just because you ain't going on stage, just because they ain't playing your music, just because it's not about you. You don't know who's at that event that can put you in a position just by one follow.
Talk your shit.
But they'll never be able to follow you if you didn't go to the event. So don't be afraid to pay that $20 that another person paid $2,500 to rent the space.
Niggas is relying too much on the
all
internet.
that stuff, like
niggas
support.
Niggas is relying too much on the internet. It has to be a harmony, bro.
It got to be a balance. It got to be a balance.
You feel me? Nah, my brother saw me shit,
Nah,
man.
that's what Def Jam told me. I walked in there thinking that something was about to happen. The first thing he said, so where's the how's the ticket sales?
Just like that.
How's the ticket sales? And I was like, you have the merchandise numbers? Because what the fuck are we putting money into? Your Instagram?
Yeah. No, that's real shit.
Your views that you can buy from Pakistan? Like, what do we?
Yeah, that's real shit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice. But we need the ticket sale. Can you sell tickets? That changed my whole perspective now.
Damn.
You know, I was like, damn, I'll be back. You know? I'll be back. You know?
Nah, damn, my bro. So, all right. So, what's next for Exit Fame, man? You know what I'm saying? We're like bringing this to a landing,
I am
bro.
not into the pre-announcements no more.
Okay, yeah.
I'm looking at some blessings from God, but one day at a time, man.
What do you feel? What do you say to the people that feel like, oh, this nigga just be talking mad positive shit? Oh, this nigga's on some like talking about God shit. Like, how do you tiptoe around people with perspectives like that, bro?
They got some living to do. They got living to do. I don't take that personal. If you ain't saying fuck, you ain't putting your hands on me, you ain't calling my mom out her name and nothing like that, because we can address issues too. And I think people know that we're equipped to do that on this side. But I don't. I believe in karma, and I put enough bad karma in the world where I'm just trying to get good karma, and I don't need more enemies. I did my thing, man. So people that say stuff, I pay attention if you're saying something, but if you ain't saying nothing like that's about my people, and there's no like real threat in there, most of these people, I see them at shows, I see them around. They always dap me up. I'd be like, all right, cool, bro.
It wasn't that deep.
So if it was on the internet, I come from an era. You definitely didn't want to talk about what you was going to do, because that was going to be evidence when it came down to it. So usually if people are talking on the internet, I don't believe it anyway. So I'd be like, I hear you, bro.
My dog, man. My dog, Exit Fame, man. Nah, yo, bro, you speaking from, honestly, just such a dope perspective, bro. We applaud you, you know what I'm saying? Exiting hell, bro, and not going back.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now we moving on.
You feel me? You feel me? Nah, my brother,
yes,
man.
Sir.
You know what I mean? And yo, on some real shit, for the unclaimed blessings, you know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure we get you right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make sure we get you right, bro, for real.
Yes, sir.
My dude, bro. Yo, my guy, Exit Fame, is in the building. The Museum TV. You know what I mean, bro? Where can people follow you, bro?
Exit Fame, man. Exit Fame. And to the people with the features that get features from me, please, my name, I don't know why it's this way, but my name is all capital letters when you're putting me into the thing. I don't know why it's like that.
All
I don't know
one
why
word,
it's like
bro?
that either.
There's no space?
It's one word.
So, all capitals,
so when people look like features
word.
I'm doing, they're like breaking it down, and I'm not getting my credit.
Damn. Yeah. You gotta fix that, B.
Yeah, all capitals. I'm running with that all year.
You gotta fix that shit. You know
I gotta
saying?
fix it, one or the other.
Bro.
Yeah.
But yo, I got my guy Exit Fame in the building with us. It is the Museum TV. My name is Noble. We are Boston's premier vlog. We've been exhibiting the culture stories since 2014. Your boy just took home a BMA for the first time, man. Music Journalist of the Year. Look, these stories are very important to me. They're very important to us as a brand, as a company, whatever you want to call the Museum TV. These stories are very important. We're trying to celebrate our stories for real, for real. This urban, creative culture here in Massachusetts that we're celebrating and enjoying right now because of people like EXITFAME. You know what I'm saying? Yo, much love to my guy Fame. Make sure y'all keeping up with him in 2025. He got, you know what I'm saying, some unspoken blessings that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be on the lookout for, man. So definitely much love to everything you got going on, bro, for real,
God,
G.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all
My
stop
dude.
that hate. Support
You know what I mean?
everybody.
Kill that
Yes,
shit,
sir.
man. Yo, look, until the next time, man, we got way more stories to drop in 2025. That's a whole fact.
Easy.
You can't tell me nothing, I stay down. You can't tell me nothing, I stay down for that come.